It's time for everyone's favorite game, Sympath Drink. Before us is the recipe for a pink virgin martini. Without the aid of any measuring devices, we will be charged with trying to assemble the listed ingredients in the correct quantities. We will each weigh our attempts. Whichever mixologists are closest to the correct weight will pass their concoction to the loser, who will have to drink all 3 tinctures by the end of the podcast.
I'd like to lose.
I think you'd like to lose once because it looks like a good drink. It is made up of the following ingredients: 2 ounces strawberry kiwi juice, a half an ounce of lime juice, a half an ounce of lemon juice, and a half an ounce of grenadine. With that, let's begin to pour. And you just add in what you think. So all told, we are trying to get to 4.5 ounces.
Oh, my word. I'm so bad at ounces.
Yeah, it really... here's how bad I am with it. I don't even know if that's metric or imperial.
I think it's imperial.
Does that sound right? Yeah, because I guess it would be
right.
milliliters if it was...
Yeah,
metric,
right.
Oh.
Did you just splash yourself in the eye with lemon juice? Thank you.
I think I just did a lot of
What
that.
else do you need?
Lime. Wait, what is it? A half an ounce? Okay, that's like a tablespoon. I don't know.
Last one.
Yeah, this is a great way to make a drink, I found, when you're able to have your drink on the scale. I love cooking and doing everything by weight because it's more accurate.
That's right. It's supposed to be the best way to do it.
But when you're doing it without the drink being on the scale, it's awful. It's truly horrible. This is a special kind of hell. I've never felt dumber. And that's saying something.
I'm doing it by totally by sight.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's like a red martini.
That is kind of red.
Well, send me to Russia, I guess. I don't know.
We don't have the budget for this, Heidi. All right. Since I put us all up to this, I will weigh first. Again, we are trying to get as close as we possibly can to 4.5 ounces.
All right.
All right. I undershot. I'm at 3 ounces even.
3 even.
That's pretty wild.
Wow.
Okay. All right, Heidi.
Okay.
Throw yours on up there.
Oh,
2.27.
Oh, no.
All right, Owen the boy. He's up.
3.20. Oh.
3.21. I'm so sorry, Heidi. You're going to have to drink up. This is Deep Dive Divas. Each episode, myself and a guest diva and Owen listen to every blessed studio album by an artist of their choosing and share our findings with Our guest today is Heidi. Heidi is an actor, a pianist, a vocalist, a mother, a wife, a vocal teacher, but not... Oh, wait, no. She actually is my vocal teacher. You can and should check out the dulcet tones of my voice using the rest of this episode. Pink Martini are a multi-genre band with something like 34 past and present members. They seem to dwell in jazz, Latin, and classical styles. They have to date 7 albums. Their music has been featured on television programs ranging from The West Wing to Sherlock to Better Call That Saul Guy, and movies such as Hitch, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Josie and the Pussycats. They have performed alongside the orchestras and symphonies of Los Angeles, Boston, San Francisco, and the BBC, who has their own concert orchestra. I didn't know that. The
Didn't know
BBC
that
has
either.
its own orchestra. That'll be like the CNN Jazz Band. Heidi, you chose Pink Martini.
Woo!
Why? You don't really have to drink all these. I
No.
I'll drink
I
one
want
of
to try it.
It's actually not bad. Well, I was looking for an artist or group that didn't have a lot of recordings because it seemed like everybody I picked had recorded many.
About 30.
Yes,
most of the
and
artists you
that
chose have
felt
about
like
30.
a lot. And I remembered Pink Martini, and I find that listening to them always puts me frequently puts me in a good mood.
Would you still say that's the case at the end of this, having listened to every blessed studio album by Pink Martini?
No, I wouldn't. I found it got very monotonous. I think like 20 minutes of Pink Martini is fun.
Sure, but 21 minutes of Pink Martini is a crowd.
This, yeah, it's too much.
J'ai perdu ma tête dans la rue Saint-Honoré. J'ai cherché ça et là, je ne l'ai pas trouvé. Dis-moi, où est ma tête? J'ai perdu mes bras sur la place de l'Opéra. Je ne les ai pas trouvés. J'ai cherché ça et là, dis-moi, où sont mes bras?
Well, before Heidi was bored of Pink Martini in 2024, we have to go all the way back to the year of 1970. Everyone's on cocaine and has a Jerry curl. Owen, especially.
Yeah. Still.
He hasn't given it up. On July 14th of 1970, one Thomas Mac Lauderdale was born in Oakland, California. Straight out of Oakland, baby.
Hey.
He was immediately adopted by his folks, Kirby and Linda Lauderdale. His father was a pastor, and they traveled around the country for work. Something Heidi, our guest here, can relate to, because she is a pastor who
Pastor's kid,
No.
PK, all the way.
Okay. All the way.
Young Thomas used to waddle up to the piano after church services and would try to pluck out the songs he heard during the service. It's kind of a cute thing.
That is a nice thing.
Bet it sounded terrible. Probably a baby. Couldn't even play piano.
Dumb little baby.
Dumb little baby.
Quit. Give up.
Give up.
That's what I always
we
tell
advise our
children.
listeners to do.
Especially with
Give
children.
up.
I believe children are the future. And if those children can't do it right away,
Give up.
you're wasting our time, kid.
Go back to school.
Go back to Russia. Huh? Young Thomas was well received by his parents, unlike us. His parents saw this and they loved that. They love this little butterball kid going up there and smacking the piano.
Stupid little kid.
They buy him an upright piano to smack around at home,
Dumb kid and a dumb piano. That's what I gotta say about it.
which they purchased at an auction when he was at the tender age of 6. When Thomas is 12 years old, his father announces that his father, Kirby, is gay. He comes out of the closet, and his parents promptly divorce, and then go on a variety of talk shows together, like Oprah, to discuss what happened. And they all moved to Portland together, despite being divorced. A wild thing in 1982 to have
It's
happened.
very wild for 1982, even for Oregon.
Well, even more so, Kirby goes back to preaching while totally out.
Wow.
Yeah. 1988, Thomas is now 18 years old, and he's hitting the town in Ronnie Reagan's America, baby. He's listening to Duran Duran and also doing cocaine. I don't know if that's true. He very well may have never
Those
touched
were
a
the
drug in his
years.
life. Yes. Owen was still in his Jerry curl and his tracksuits. Thomas enrolls at a little school called Harvard.
Harvard.
And he starts studying history and literature. And he meets a woman named China Forbes at this obscure school they go to. And they become fast friends. And then they promptly kind of stop being friends.
How does that work?
They met each other, liked each other, and then they were acquaintances, I would say.
Okay.
Well, 6 years after that, so just 2 years after Thomas graduates from Harvard, he forms a band. And this all occurs in the great Pacific Northwest in Portland, Oregon. And there are 2 stories as to how this happened, and I've seen them cited about equally. The first thing you have to know is that Thomas was really big in Portland's politics.
Huh.
With that in mind, it has been said that he was watching the Pee Wee Herman Christmas special, Christmas at Pee Wee's Playhouse, which has a star-studded cast including the likes of Lawrence Fishburne as Cowboy Curtis, Oprah, the aforementioned Oprah, Frankie Avalon, Little Richard, Magic Johnson, Cher, and so on. No Sonny. It also features the Del Rubio Triplets, a folk trio from the Panama Canal Zone, yet they sing old country and western music before the family moves to DC. And Thomas falls in love with the Del Rubio Triplets and in their sequined cowboy outfits. And Thomas books them to play a political fundraiser in Portland. Again, after seeing them on the Pee Wee Herman's Christmas special.
Wow. I'm going to have to watch that special again.
I have it on DVD if you would like to borrow it tonight. He was not able to get an opener for the group, so he, along with a handful of other friends, went up on stage. Thomas wore a cocktail dress and named the band Pink Martini.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. We're walking in the winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. We're walking in the winter wonderland.
Wait, Thomas wore a cocktail dress? Mm-hmm. This is amazing. What year is this?
1988. And I'm so glad you brought up the year, because this is not the year Christmas at Pee Wee's Playhouse came out. It had been out for 6 years at this point.
Wow.
Maybe he's watching it in syndication somewhere. Maybe he has a friend with it on VHS. Again, I told you there were two stories as to how this band came about. The other is that Thomas, again, big in Portland politics, and had been for much of his life, hated the music that he heard at the fundraisers so much that he decided to start a fun band to play at these fundraisers instead. In any case, Thomas has a band now that is playing the political fundraisers in Portland. Now, these political events, as you might expect for Portland, Oregon, are largely progressive events benefiting entities ranging from public broadcasting to affordable housing and libraries. They hold a festival of sorts called Fund Fest every other year, which raises money for these causes and is still going on to this date. And the following year, 1995, China Forbes, Thomas's old friend from
I think it's Harvard.
joins the band. And the interesting thing about China Forbes is she only speaks one language. Yet, as the singer of Pink Martini, she will have to sing over a dozen of them. And I think she does so very convincingly.
Yes, she does.
In the foreign languages that I have any familiarity with, she sounds like a native speaker in them. She's a truly gifted linguist in this way, I would say.
Yeah.
For the next 2 years, the band will strictly perform live. They don't have any recordings. They are just playing at political fundraisers and gigging around. Until 1997, when the band records their first record, Sympathique, which is released on November 11th of 1997. The album is released by a record label called Heinz Records. They made this record label up. It is their own record label. Heinz was the name of Thomas's dog.
Like ketchup?
Exactly.
Like ketchup.
57 varieties. Is it 57?
It is 57.
How many different ways can you make ketchup?
I guess 57.
I don't eat it.
You don't eat ketchup?
Nope.
At all?
You
No.
don't eat ketchup?
No ketchup, no mustard, no relish, no mayo.
You're just eating hot dogs dry?
Yeah. I like hot sauce.
Do you put that on a hot dog?
No.
Oh.
Wow.
Not a condiment guy. I'm a simple guy.
Freak! Thomas said there was no expectation of this record selling even a single copy. It was just for fun. They just wanted to get in the studio and record, and they thought it would be a fun time.
It's interesting that they had to create like a whole record label to just do a label.
Yeah. Especially for 1997, you think people would be interested in this stuff. Like the Buena Vista Social Club had just been out. People are interested in world music. These guys kind of excel in that.
Yeah.
We're to call it a genre, because world music, I think, is probably the least helpful label in all of musicdom. But, it seemed like there would be an appetite. I think he truly did think this was just for fun. And I don't think he really put any stock in the idea that anyone would want to sign them or anything. You know, this is a weird thing he does at political fundraisers and stuff. Well, what did we think of Sympathique?
Well, I thought it was probably one of their better albums. It had more kind of variety.
You gave it a 7, which is your third highest rated album. Kind of middle of the pack.
Yeah.
You did go as low as 3. It feels very fully formed to me. It's, I think, in some ways the best of their catalog that we're going to see.
Yeah, I would agree with that, I think.
Yeah, this was my second favorite album of them. I didn't really like it that much, personally. Is this the one with Que Sera Sera?
Yes.
Yes, this is their case around.
I was like, well, this is... I expected Sly and the Family's Stone, you know what I mean? Because, I don't know, it's just a great song.
Uh-huh.
And it is the same song. It's not Sly and the Family Stone's song anyway, but I don't know. I just have an association with that song.
Sure.
This song is my yucky icky song.
Que Sera Sera?
Yeah.
Wow.
I really did not enjoy it.
Why is that?
I just thought it was a little annoying.
It's got kind of a haunting feeling to it.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Are either of you familiar with the animated film starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, Mary and Max?
No.
Beautiful film, and one of the characters visualizes committing suicide to this very recording of Que Sera Sera.
Wow.
And that was my first exposure to Pink Martini. And I didn't know that until I went back and listened to this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is from that weird Philip Seymour Hoffman movie. It's about an Australian little girl and an old man in New York who accidentally become pen pals. And it's animated. It's like claymation. It's real great.
Will there be rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
I'm probably wrong about this because I'm not a vocal person, but in personal like preference, I think China's voice is a little too clean for me.
Okay.
I kind of like a little. I don't know. I'm probably wrong about this.
Well,
but
no, it's
my personal
preference.
preference.
Yeah. There's no
Just,
grit on her voice.
Yeah,
There's no
she has
grit.
a great voice. She's talented, but
I do find her voice to be, the color palette of it is very specific and very narrow.
Okay.
If you like that color,
It's great.
you're going to love it.
Yeah.
But I've personally found that I got tired of that color.
Sure.
I give this album a 3, which is not terribly low.
My Yummy Yummy song is on this record, and it is Sympathique. I think to me it's like Pink Martini at the best. To me, it's really the quintessential song for them. I would characterize this as like their calling card. I love that telephone vocal she does on there too.
Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner, je veux seulement oublier et puis je fume. Déjà j'ai connu le parfum de l'amour, 1 million de roses n'embaumerait pas autant. Maintenant une seule fleur dans mes entourages me rend malade. Je ne veux pas.
I really like Brazil.
Yeah, it's a fun version of that.
I love the kind of the joy of it and the rhythm of it. And I think they play it a lot at their concerts.
Yeah. It's also nice for them because it kills like 8 minutes.
Yes.
When twilight dims the skies above, recalling thrills of our love, there's one thing I am certain of: return I will to old Brazil.
I wrote down, I really like the composition of this album.
Yes, I would agree with that. That it feels like it's very well thought out.
Yeah.
The title track is nominated by the Victoire de la Musique Awards for Song of the Year. These awards are hosted by the French Ministry of Culture, so that's a pretty big deal. The album has gone platinum since 2013, which means it has sold, Owen,
Million.
1 million copies. Very
Wow.
good. Boom. They play at the Cannes Film Festival this year as well. So they love France. France loves them. In 2000, when the world did not end, Kirby, Thomas's father, is the officiant in his ex-wife's new marriage. Linda gets remarried and Kirby officiates. It's a nice story. 2003, Pink Martini played to a sold-out crowd at the Walt Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve. That's a big deal. That's a giant place.
Wow.
This Mickey guy just can't get enough.
They do the same in 2004, 2008, and 2011.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's
so they're
Eve
becoming like
with-
the New
with
Year's
Disney.
Eve, like the Guy Lombardos of the Disney, of the Mickey world.
The football guy. What was that trophy? Guy Lombardo trophy?
No, that's Vince Lombardi.
No, that's the wrestling guy, right?
That's Vince McMahon.
That's the guy who gives out the real big checks, right?
I don't know. You lost me there.
McMahon, I think, right? Ed McMahon.
Oh,
Isn't
Ed McMahon. Oh, sorry.
In 2004, their sophomore record, Hang On Little Tomato, comes out on October 19th.
I give this one a 3.
Okay.
Just felt like an extension of the first one to me.
All right.
What did I give this one? Like a 7?
You gave this a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, because Hang On Little Tomato is like one of my yummy songs.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like the first or second Pink Martini song I heard. I just love the wittiness of the lyrics. I love the like image of the little tomato hanging on, like all of us like trying to hang on, and the kind of humor around that.
Sure. So do you know where this title comes from?
Nope.
It is from a 1964 Heinz ketchup ad. It's a glass bottle, a translucent glass bottle with a bunch of fresh tomatoes behind it. I think kind of indicating that this is made with it, with, you know, these fresh tomatoes. And then there's a poem next to it. Stay on the vine. Keep growing until you're fat and juicy. Good life advice. Get picked while you're fresh as dew. Bubble in Hunt's... Oh, I'm sorry, it's a Hunt's
Oh, it's
ketchup.
Hunt's.
Yes.
It's still ketchup.
Bubble in Hunt's 7 spices until you're bursting with flavor. Again, good life advice. Sparkle and shine in a bright new bottle until some smart hamburger teams up with you. Then people will never forget you. You'll be ketchup with the big tomato taste. Hunt's. This is a horrible poem.
That's wow.
But anyway, Thomas saw this ad from 1964, this Hunt's tomato ketchup ad, and said that's the name of the ad, of the album. Hang On Little Tomato.
The sun has left and forgotten me. It's dark, I cannot see. Why does this this rain pour down, I'm gonna drown in a sea of deep confusion. Somebody told me, I don't know who, whenever you are sad and blue, and you're feeling all alone and left behind, just take a look inside you and you'll find you gotta hold on through the night, hang on, things will be alright, even when it's dark and not a bit of sparkling seeds of sunshine from above, spreading rays of sunny love just.
And I think the really soft songs like this are great, like the Gardens of Samson and Beasley. I love when they play soft, soothing
Right.
stuff.
And those are friends of theirs, I think. Samson and Beasley. I'm not a fan of their, they start to do like their Japanese connection on this album, I think.
And you don't think it works for them?
I think I'm not a fan of the sound.
Sure. So that song that you're referring to is Kikuchiu to Moshimasu.
That's the one.
It's the first song in Japanese, and the title translates to I'm Chrysanthemum.
There you go.
This is one of 6 different languages they employ on this album.
Wow.
They stop using China as much, which I had a real problem with. Some of these are instrumentals, and a couple of them they have that guy singing, which isn't even Thomas either. Like Veronique. I think that would be a really good song if China was singing it.
Uh-huh.
But she's not.
Yeah, this is where I started to miss China, because I don't like the guy. I like China 3 times more. 4 times more, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's again a nice voice, but it's got like just a very minimal like interest to it.
Yeah.
The letters I write, I never shall mail. The world is gray, wrapped in a veil. No step on the stairs, no one rings the bell for Veronique.
Hang On Little Tomato goes double platinum in France alone.
Maybe they gave away a baguette with it.
You...
Do you know about the scratch and sniff French stamp?
No.
So the French created a scratch and sniff stamp for the Olympics, and it's supposed to smell like a baguette. And
Is that true?
Yes, I have one. My girlfriend bought it for me. She stood in line in Paris at the post office. She said the stamp, she bought like 16 of them. Each stamp was like $2 each.
What?
Yep, and she gave it to me last Saturday, and we scratched and scratched and scratched, and we can't smell a baguette.
No baguette. You could just get a baguette for $2.
For $2, you could get a baguette.
Huh.
And she stood in line.
And all you got was this crummy, not normal, probably glue smelling stamp.
Right.
Terrible.
And now I can't use it because I scratched it all. And it's French.
In 2005, Pink Martini are the musical guests for Late Night with Conan O'Brien on November
Yes.
22nd. The very date that John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963 in Dealey Plaza.
Weird.
Yep. In 2007, the band put out their 3rd record, Hey Eugene.
Which has one of my Yummy Yummy songs on it.
And tell us about that.
I love Hey Eugene. I love the story. I love the rhythm. I think China sings this one very well.
Noticed that your skinhead friend was gone, long gone. And you looked into my bloodshot eyes and said, is it too soon if I call you Sunday?
I gave this album a 4.
Oh.
So we're going up. I do a lyric. I pick a lyric segment or a little lyric frame for every artist we do. I pick the most like
Provocative.
unusual lyric or interesting lyric or. So this one, it was kind of hard for me. I was trying to find like, because I mean, so much of it is in another language. And I was having a really hard time trying to find this until we get to the title track, Hey Eugene, where I'll just read some of the lyrics. Hey Eugene, do you remember me? I'm that chick you danced with 2 times through the Rufus album. Friday night at that party on Avenue A, where your skinhead friend passed out for several hours on the bathroom floor. And you told me you weren't that drunk, and that I was your favorite salsa dancer you would ever come across in New York City. And hey Eugene, then we kissed. Once we lugged your friend into the elevator and went to write my number on a soggy paper towel. And the car went down. When we had finished making out, we noticed that your skinhead friend was gone, long gone. And you looked into my bloodshot eyes and said, is it too soon if I call you Sunday? I thought that was funny because I wasn't prepared for the skinhead friend thing, and thought it was funny that it came back.
Sure.
So.
And the soggy paper towel.
Yeah.
I also liked Das Vidania Mio Bambino.
Loved it.
Which
it's so sad.
Has a lot of different. Like, I love the mix of all the
even
languages,
that title,
right?
that's what, Russian and Italian?
Yeah, but it's Bambino, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's not Bambino.
Bambino's baby. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what Bambino is.
I don't know if it's a small bomb.
I think you're thinking of Babe
Little
Ruth.
bomb. That's it.
There we go.
The great Bambino.
The great Bambino. I said I was ready to dislike this song, but I can't.
What you are, dos vidania, mio bambino. Dos vidania, mio bambino. There is a place where only you alone go. There is a world that only you alone know.
Yeah, I think you're right. Your point earlier about that she sings in all these different languages. I think she's really good at that.
I struggle with singing in one, so good for her.
Well, having had a classical background and having sung in many languages myself, I think that's part of why I like her and appreciate what she does, because it is hard to do and make it sound like you actually know what you're saying.
Sure. This album is a blend of originals and covers. For me, the shtick starts to kind of run thin here.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a lot less focus on being catchy and fun, and instead it seems like they're trying to move towards being like a prestigious band. It's a lot more orchestral and complicated with the actual musical arrangements. It doesn't feel poppy to me anymore.
I said even on the second track, it's all starting to sound the same.
Yeah. Well, what do I know? This is their best charting album. Hits number 30 in the US on the Billboard 200 and 7 in France.
Whoa.
The French love Pink Martini. They're all about this band.
They also love Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. They play Hey Eugene, the song, on David Letterman. That's kind of all I have for this one. There's not a lot. These guys are all very well behaved and don't really have any controversies, so it's really just kind of like
Sex
they made an album this year. Yeah. Well, in 2009, as I was gearing up to graduate from high school,
Yay.
Splendor in the Grass is released. Splendor in the Grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it? I can dig it, she can dig it, they can dig it. Oh, let's dig it, can you dig it, baby? No one, okay. All right. Splendor in the Grass comes out on October 27th, 2009. 4 tracks in, and I decreed that this album just has no soul. It was so flat for me. What do you guys think about Splendor in the Grass?
This was my favorite. Give it 4.5. I don't know why.
My mouth is shockingly open.
This has my yummy yummy. Ohio, Ohio. was just like the most one that I resonate. I don't know.
I do have
It's
I
just-
Love the Chorus.
It's a good song, man.
I wrote that this album feels contrived.
Yeah.
But with the first song, Nina Nana, I wrote, I want a glass of wine on a sunny terrace.
That sounds like, but do you just always want that?
Pretty much, but
I can relate to that.
yeah, there were a lot in there that I was just like, ick, nope.
That is what is so tricky about this record to me, because I truly love a lot of these songs. I think they did a really amazing job with a lot of them. And then it also has some of my least favorite songs, including my Yuck Icky song. But Now I'm Back. This is an example of the smooth, cheesy bullshit I feared that this album and that this artist might be.
Oh, how I miss ya. I wanna kiss ya and hold you close from dusk until dawn. So let's just make up, and when you wake up, I promise not to be gone. You know I love ya, dream only of ya. So please, please cut me some slack. I went away just a couple of days, but now I'm back. Now he's back. Cut him slack.
Because I didn't really know, again, I had actually heard Que Sera Sera, but I didn't actually know that it was them. And when you pitched this to me and I was looking at just like the pictures of them, judging a book by its cover, I was like, I'm just going to have faith in Heidi on this one. And for the first 3 records, I really enjoyed it. And again, I think there are some beautiful tracks on this. They stopped trying to be fun, and I just don't get it. They make some really interesting choices, like on the track Sing. They bring Emilio Delgado, also known as Luis from Sesame Street, the Fix-It shop owner. And he actually sings on that song, which I think a lot of people know from Sesame Street.
Yeah, and I love that song, but I didn't enjoy that version of it.
Because it doesn't, I think the fun of like hearing it on Sesame Street is like, it feels like almost like a bar song where a bunch of people were joining in, and it feels
Or a bunch of
impromptu.
Muppets.
Yeah, it's about
And this, yeah, sure. And
Cookie
this
Monster.
is so clean. And I think that's where they lose a lot of stuff that's so well polished that it becomes unrelatable, I think, unless you're French.
Canta tu canción, canta en voz alta, canta fuerte. Vida, no te preocupes que no se oiga bien, para que otros la oigan. Canta, canta una canción.
A little bit louder. Very soft this time.
But then they have just bizarre things. Like they bring the lead singer and guitarist of the Dandy Warhols, one Courtney Taylor Taylor, on to play Splendor in the Grass. They also have a song called Bitty Boppy Betty, which I believe is about a trans cop, and it seems to be positive and implores everyone to like everyone and just accept people for who they are.
Which in 2009 were,
pretty progressive.
But that song didn't really work for me.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
But I was along for the story.
Right. It's interesting because I think a lot of their songs are starting to like great intention. The execution is kind of not making it.
This record comes out at 45 on the Billboard 200.
Wow.
Still not bad. The record goes platinum in Greece.
Greece? There's nothing. Is there a Greek
Nothing.
song?
Nothing at all.
good for Greece.
Just thinking about that in 2009, to sell 1 million copies of a record anywhere is huge, you know?
Right.
I don't know how these
Well,
people
it
are doing
isn't
this.
Greece in really bad straits economically.
Oh, yeah,
in
they're about to
09?
have those riots in like the next year. I mean, 2009, no one's really doing well. It's the Great
Right.
Recession and everything.
I guess they're all buying pink martini.
That's it. In 2010, right on the heels of the Great Recession, they put out their 5th record, which is a Christmas album entitled Joy to the World. Yeah, I think the song choices are kind of rough on this one. I get being inclusive and everything, but it also feels like they're going really far out of their way to try to put songs that aren't about Christmas on this Christmas record.
Right.
And there's plenty of great ones, great holiday and winter songs. None of them appear on this album.
Right. Well, and I just thought they would maybe find some news or, lesser heard songs and do interesting things with them. Or that they would do, if they did the typical songs, that they would do more interesting things than they did. And I felt like they were just phoning it in.
Sure. Like, for example, in Shedrick, which I actually liked, it's just Carol of the Bells with different words in a different language.
Right.
It's hard to redo Christmas songs.
Well, then don't
Yes.
do them.
Well, I'm good at them.
No.
So.
Again, I can't stress this enough. No one made them do this. This was a choice. But it feels very much like they were under pressure.
Yes, I would agree.
But this doesn't make a lot of sense. Because they worked on this record for over 2 years.
You're kidding.
This was something they kept returning to time and time again. This is what we got. This was the best they could come up with in over 2 years.
I would just say what a waste of studio time.
Sure.
It must have been like Tuesday afternoon at 4:00, and they had, we have 1 more hour. Let's just do some of those Christmas
we
songs.
could have had the next Michael Jackson in the booth. For all he knows. But, guess who took up the time?
I don't think this record is bad. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. It doesn't do anything to advance the idea of what a Christmas record is. See Santa Baby. Why are you doing this?
God, I hate this song. That's what I wrote. My yuck, icky song is Santa Baby.
Why do you hate fun?
Santa baby, slip a sable under the tree for me. I've been an awful good girl, Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight.
Why do you hate Santa Baby?
I don't like the song in the first place.
Even Eartha Kitt?
Even Eartha Kitt. Maybe I like Eartha Kitt, but then after that, it's like everybody's trying to imitate her, right? And I just think that song doesn't age well. I think I've seen...
Like Eartha Kitt?
Eartha Kitt aged well. Very well.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean, I love Christmas music. Love it.
And you love Christ.
Huh?
You love Christ.
I don't want to address this.
I mean, you won't even talk about your Lord and Savior into the microphone for all posterity.
How much time do you have?
I mean, I'd like to be done in the next 20 minutes. There are some interesting songs on here, like Congratulations, Happy New Year. But I don't like them.
Right. And I was so looking forward to a new New Year's Eve song.
Yeah. And they're a New Year's Eve band. They sell out the Walt Disney Arena every New Year's Eve. I really loved A Snow Globe Christmas. And then I was immediately made irate after hearing the song because they demonstrated they are perfectly capable of making a Christmas record that is new, innovative, and exciting, and they just didn't. They didn't. Instead, we get Schmedrick, which is just Carol of the Bells in Polish or something.
Ukrainian.
Is it?
It's Ukrainian.
Sugar plums dance and reindeer too. I'll go to sleep and dream of you. And when the snowflakes fall on the Douglas fir, it's like a snow globe Christmas, and we're living in a perfect world of trees and harmony.
They had 2 years. I could learn the Ukrainian language and the difference between the Yukis and the Poles in that time.
Yes.
Am I going to? No. But I could. And I should. This Christmas record hits 35 on the Billboard 200 and 45 in Canada. They keep failing up. They go on Jay Leno to play We Three Kings and come back in December of the next year to regale Denim Dan, as I like to call him, with their version of your favorite song, Santa Baby. Is there anything worse than this song being played to Jay Leno? Starbucks also sold this album in their stores for those 2 years. In 2011, the band does a collabo with Saori Yuki entitled 1969. It goes platinum in Japan and hits 2 in Japan.
Wow.
That is a collaboration album, so we won't even mention it. But again, that is a collaboration between Saori Yuki and Pink Martini entitled 1969.
We're not going to mention it,
but
though.
we won't say the name. We won't mention Saori Yuki. We're not going to devote a second to this.
Done.
But again,
No
I just
more.
want to reiterate, Pink Martini did record an album with Saori Yuki entitled 1969. China Forbes has to get vocal surgery on her vocal cords in 2011.
Really?
She is temporarily replaced by a singer from Southborough, Massachusetts named Storm Large, who has served as a singer of various rock and metal bands. She also sang with Randy Newman for his residency at the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles. That guy loves LA. Storm Large never leaves Pink Martini. Instead, she just becomes a co-lead singer along with China. Because China comes back when she is well. 2013, we get the penultimate album by Pink Martini entitled Get Happy. I can't imagine Elvis Costello was too pleased about this. It's got 16 songs. I believe it's their longest record to date. And it feels to me like they lost everything that made them special on this record, including China. China's only on about a quarter of these songs.
Yeah. This album made me not get happy. It made me get sad, annoyed,
Speak on that.
angry.
Oh.
I wanted to throw a chair.
Oh! Calm down.
I think I will right now.
Calm
Throw
down.
a chair.
Oh, no! Heidi, what do you think about Get Happy?
I liked it at first, and then it went downhill.
Yeah, it's so plodding and slow. I like Rufus Wainwright. I think Rufus Wainwright is a genius.
Yeah.
Rufus Wainwright plays on the song Kitty Come Home. It should be good.
And I wrote, I don't get it.
It sucks. It's boring. It's boring, Rufus. You're boring on the song, Pink Martini. You all suck. It's boring.
Pack up all your children. Come home to our love and concern. Kitty, come home.
Oh, kitty, come home.
No being, however mighty.
They dust Phyllis Diller off for the
Yes.
track Smile, which is written by Charlie Chaplin.
You didn't know that?
No!
I forgot to tell you.
Well, so the way this Phyllis Diller thing came about, like the way they managed to get her recording, she was super old by this time. They go into Phyllis Diller's living room in Los Angeles to record her part. She died the same year they recorded with her. Coincidence? All the years that she didn't do a song with Pink Martini, she lived. Now all of a sudden she does one with them and she dies.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thomas Lauderdale, more like Thomas Lauderfail.
Thomas Lauderdale. More like Thomas is a murderer. Lauderdale.
Yeah, I said A+ for effort on the Phyllis Diller track.
It's just a weird choice.
Yeah.
To break out Phyllis Diller in 2013.
Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile. What's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you'll just smile.
Get Happy goes to 50 in Poland and 36 in Spain. The Europeans still love Pink Martini, no matter how the rest of us feel.
Those blokes.
They love Jay Leno, and that's why. They keep seeing Pink Martini play at Christmas time with Jay Leno, and they're like, we got to keep tuning in. Got to keep buying these records.
Do they really love Jay Leno?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've never met a European, and I hope I don't.
Oh, come on.
Welcome back to what was it?
NPR Sports Edition.
NPR Sports Edition. I'm here with a guest. I usually never have a guest. I have a guest, Heidi, and we could talk about baseball.
We can do that. Because every day the Phillies are in first place is a gift from God.
Yeah.
So it is written in the Bible.
So it's written in the Bible, so it's a gift from God today.
What you liking about baseball?
The Phillies.
Would you like to speak to a Phillies player right now? If you could call one Phillies player, who would it be?
Oh, wow. Who would I talk to? Edmundo Sosa.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's call in to Edmundo Sosa. Hi, this is Edmundo Sosa from the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team. How do you do?
Wow, Edmundo, it's so great to talk to you.
And also with you.
You've just been playing so well lately.
Thank you. Yeah. So my secret is when they throw the ball to me, I hit it, and then I run.
Do you see it?
The ball,
Yeah.
of course. How else would I hit it?
So what position do you play?
I am.
What was that? Could you say that one?
You're a little tinny over there.
Oh no, I'm right
What
back.
kind of telephone is this that you're calling on? I don't divulge personal information to Motorola users, I'm afraid. And that's all the time we have for NPR Sports Edition.
He shuts it down every time.
And we're back. In 2014, Pink Martini's bongo player / percussionist, Derek Reith, killed himself via a gun wound, according to the band's own website, following a lifelong struggle with bipolar disorder. In his honor, the Derek Reith Foundation was created, which supports music and dance lessons to underprivileged youth and supplies them with the equipment to pursue those passions. You can, as of 2024, still donate to the Derek Reith Foundation. In 2016, at present, their final recording, Je Suis, is bestowed unto us on November 18th. Is that how you would say that?
Je dis oui.
Je dis oui.
Mm-hmm. This all sounds the same to me.
Can I say something? I appreciate the clipped length of the tracks. 11 out of the 15 are under 4 minutes long, 6 of which don't even clear 3 minutes. So while they all absolutely do sound the same, they're shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Short.
I wrote for Pata Pata.
Mm-hmm.
No. I should like this, but I don't.
I love the original version, and I hate what they did to that song.
happened?
Well, this record seems much more influenced by Eastern European culture than all of their previous albums, and I think that's the problem. Stay away, and I don't know how many times I have to say this to you, Owen, or to our listeners, from Eastern Europe.
It's hard. Man,
I
it's
know.
hard.
They'll lure you right in there with
Lure
their
me in with-
tracksuits.
yeah.
Their brutalist architecture.
Yeah,
Their broken promises.
that's for sure.
Their fulfilled threats. Heidi, what do you think about Je de suis?
I wanted to like it, and I just found so much of it sounded the same.
Yeah. Same as it ever was.
Yep. I did the very last song. I said I have a great appreciation for their modern approach to classical music. But I think it just doesn't play well after one or two albums.
One or two really good albums. Mm-hmm. And then they got carried away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, they bring Rufus Wainwright back on this one to sing Blue Moon, a great song. Rufus Wainwright, a great singer. Oh no, this also sucks.
I can tell that I didn't like it because in my journal there's like no notes.
Yeah.
There's just numbers and a few words.
Je de suis, their most recent record, as of 2016, the year 45, went to the White House. They stopped making music after that. That's interesting. It goes to number 193 on the Billboard 200. So they're still on the charts, baby.
Whoa.
In 2020, Storm and China appear on NBC Palm Springs in March of 2020 when nothing was happening, when everything was good and normal in the world in early March 2020, promoting their shows, which would promptly be canceled days later. Storm elaborates in this interview, though, before the coronavirus destroys everything, that when she took over for China, she had to learn, quote, 10 songs in 5 languages in 3 days before their next scheduled show.
That's a lot.
They also talked about how Storm and China were going camping together in Joshua Tree, which may have still happened because you were still allowed to camp at that time. It was like the thing you were allowed to do. And Joshua Tree, you
Very
got those
open.
U2 guys and some cacti, and that's kind of it. You know, no one else is really around. Each episode, we like to highlight the up-and-coming work of a discography developing diva. Today, that is the Blackburns. The Blackburns are a rock and roll group from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who just put out their record entitled The Blackburns. We're about to hear their lead-off track from that very record, which is the only track on the record to feature 2 vocalists. It is now time to Marvin Gaye and Get It On with the Blackburns and their song, Hooks.
It's like trying to read a book. All I know when I hear them go is that they got no hook. But when your record's kind of checkered and you're in need of some forgiving, well, that's a strange way to make a living. It's not show friends, it's show business. Don't look at me like that. It's just the way the world. See, over here you got friends and over here you got business. Do what you gotta do between the two. Just don't expect forgiveness. And when your brain loses standing, people might have some misgivings. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Who we kidding? Who we kidding? the seams. I can see the imperfections. I can't see them in my dreams. Believe me, once you see the seams, you see there's no way to unsee them. You can see the seams with every fiber of your being. And when the people don't want sequels, you'll find the world won't keep on spinning. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Who we kidding? Who we kidding? Well, that's a strange to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Well, that's a strange way to make a living. Who we kidding? Who we kidding? Yeah, who am I kidding?
You can hear more from the Blackburns. Listen to a playlist of our favorite Pink Martini songs, visit our shop and social media pages, contact us, view our citations, and so much more by using the links in this episode's show notes.
In 2024, as of right now, Pink Martini are on a tour of Europe and North America, and they are not coming to Philadelphia. But China did announce that she was to play the Ardmore Music Hall on June
Last
4th,
night.
which was last night. None of us went.
Right.
According to Thomas's page on the Pink Martini website, he is, quote, currently working on an album with the surf band Satan's Pilgrims.
I went into this excited and interested to do it because I'd never done anything like this. And I thought that I would really enjoy listening to all of their music. And I was surprised how it became kind of a task to listen to it. And I think hearing that the two of you also felt like it didn't really go anywhere. Actually, in a weird way, makes me feel better.
Sure.
I did find it interesting, as I said before we started taping, how I don't listen to like records anymore or CDs. Owen, you said you do. And so I doing this made me realize how much, like, when you listen to a playlist, especially if it's curated for you, like, you get all this variety of sound that you don't typically get on an album.
Yeah.
And they work great a couple tracks at a time. You know,
Yes.
they're a brilliant addition to your playlist. If it's background music or, like, you know, dinner music, cooking music, all great options. To put on a whole album of this, I think you will be bored by the end.
Yes.
I went into this wanting to throw a chair and a fit. And I came out
Asleep.
tired,
Yeah.
in my pajamas and a nightcap with a candle in my hand. I'm the little...
And then,
Wink and blink and a nod.
well, let me give the closing words to Thomas Lauderdale, which he said in an interview in 2009. The idea is to play and perform beautiful songs and to inspire people and to comfort them and to help them fall in love or help them go through a divorce or have a baby or vacuum. And I think Pink Martini is there for you when you want to vacuum your house.
Yes, that's
you
very
wanna be
appropriate.